Hey there everybody, Minimalist Gourmet here. Today I'm going to show you how to make a delicious cream of chicken soup completely from scratch. It only takes one pot, it's amazingly delicious and so filling. Best yet, you can probably use what you have in your house right now. Let's get started. Now, I love celery, but I absolutely despise eating dental floss, so I'm going to show you a cool trick on how to get around this. We're going to be removing the fibers which run along the outside edge here of the celery. This is so easy. All we need to do is take a vegetable peeler, just like this, and peel the outside of the celery. When we take the outside off, we're going to take all of those fibrous strands with it, leaving us with just celery and none of the dental floss. Now, simply cut it like you would normally, and you are ready to go. To start things off, in a very large pot, I have about 4 tablespoons of butter melting over medium heat. We're going to use this to saute up our vegetables just a little bit to give them a little extra flavor. I've diced up half a red onion, which I'm going to put in. You could use leeks, shallots, white onion, whatever you have on hand will work great. I have 2 large carrots, which I've diced up, as well as the celery, which we prepared before. That's going to go into the pot and we're going to mix it around and allow it to cook for just a couple minutes here to soften up slightly and get a little bit more flavor in that butter. 5 cloves of minced garlic go in, along with a very generous helping of ground black pepper, but we are not going to add any salt right now, that comes later. Cook this for about 2 to 3 minutes until you can smell the garlic, then you know you're ready to add the rest of your ingredients. I'm going to add in about 3/4 of a medium head of cauliflower, which I've chopped up into small pieces, but again guys, you can use what you have on hand. I have made this so many different ways over the years to include ingredients like broccoli, potatoes, corn, so definitely don't be intimidated, use what you like. Now we're going to add in our water, which I'm going to add 7 cups of water and 4 chicken bouillon cubes. However, if you'd like, you could just substitute the water and bouillon cubes for chicken stock, in which case just go ahead and use 7 cups of chicken stock. All your salt will come from either your chicken stock or your bouillon cubes, which is why we didn't add any extra in the beginning. Season it up with a little bit of dried Italian herb mix before we place our boneless, skinless chicken breasts into the center so that they can poach. Submerge your chicken breasts in the soup and allow the broth to come back up to a simmer. You're going to cook these for 15 minutes or until they reach an internal temperature of 165 degrees. Once they're done poaching, pull them out and place them into a bowl and allow them to sit at room temperature for 10 minutes. This will allow the juices inside to cool down and redistribute so they don't come pouring out once we shred them in the next step. These breasts have been sitting at room temperature for 10 minutes and are cool enough to handle. We need to shred this chicken, which we could do with 2 forks just by pulling it apart, but I'm going to show you a cool trick. If you have a hand mixer like this, you can actually use it to shred chicken. Simply insert your beaters and let the mixer do all the work. This is a fantastic technique to do a lot of chicken all at once. It shreds it relatively quickly and will save your hands. I know it seems a little silly and it might look a little bit weird, but trust me on this, you should give it a try. It is actually amazing. The soup remained cooking while we were doing the chicken, so it's been a total of 25 minutes or so, and all the vegetables are perfectly tender at this point. We're going to add in our juicy shredded chicken along with 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. Add this slowly while stirring constantly to make sure you don't have any separation. Now, this next step is 100% optional. I like my soup to be nice and thick, a bit more like a chowder, so I've made a cornstarch and water slurry with 3 tablespoons of each. Now I'm going to slowly drizzle in about half of my slurry and mix very well. It needs to come back up to a simmer in order for the slurry to thicken it, and we're going to check. This isn't quite thick enough for me, it's still a little bit runny, so I'm going to add the other half of my slurry in, again mixing constantly, allowing it to come back up to a simmer so it can thicken, and checking the consistency. And this looks perfect to me, but again, you can skip this step entirely or make it as thick as you'd like, it's totally up to you. The only thing left to do now is pour it up into a bowl and enjoy. As always, my recipe is always included below in the description box, so definitely check that out, and please like, share, and subscribe while you're down there. Guys, it really is just that easy to make this delicious cream of chicken soup in your home kitchen tonight. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching today. I do appreciate your time, and I sincerely hope that I see you again here next week on the next episode of The Minimalist Gourmet.